The name Acts of the Apostles was first used by Irenaeus in the late 2nd century. It is not known whether this was an existing name for the book or one invented by Irenaeus. It does seem clear that it was not given by the author. As the word praxeis, deeds, acts, only appears once in the text. Acts chapter 19 verse 18. And there it refers not to the apostles but to deeds confessed by their followers. The Gospel of Luke and Acts make up a 2-volume work which scholars call Luke Acts. Together they account for 27.5% of the New Testament, the largest contribution attributed to a single author, providing the framework for both the Church's liturgical calendar and the historical outline into which later generations have fitted their idea of the story of Jesus and the early Church. The author is not named in either volume. According to Church tradition dating from the 2nd century, the author was the Luke named as a companion of the Apostle Paul in 3 of the letters attributed to Paul himself. This view is still sometimes advanced, but a critical consensus emphasizes the countless contradictions between the account in Acts and the authentic Pauline letters. Quote, an example can be seen by comparing Acts' accounts of Paul's conversion. Acts chapter 9 verses 1 to 31, 22 to 6:21, and 26 to 9:23. With Paul's own statement that he remained unknown to Christians in Judea after that event. Galatians chapter 1 verses 17 to 24. The author is an admirer of Paul, but does not share Paul's own view of himself as an apostle. His own theology is considerably different from Paul's on key points and does not represent Paul's own views accurately. He was educated, a man of means, probably urban, and someone who respected manual work, although not a worker himself. This is significant, because more highbrow writers of the time looked down on the artisans and small business people, who made up the early Church of Paul and were presumably Luke's audience. The earliest possible date for Luke Acts is around 62 AD. The time of Paul's imprisonment in Rome. But most scholars date the work to 80 to 90 AD on the grounds that it uses Mark as a source, looks back on the destruction of Jerusalem, and does not show any awareness of the letters of Paul, which began circulating late in the 1st century. If it does show awareness of the Pauline epistles, and also of the work of the Jewish historian Josephus, as some believe, then a date in the early 2nd century is possible.